Good morning. Welcome to Newsline. We're coming live to you on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and also on NBT World. It's December 17, 2014. A lovely Wednesday today, and you're with myself, Cholapansan Rula. And now Thailand moves forward. In our first story, the ASEAN +3 Health Ministers special meeting on Ebola preparedness and response has been organized with a focus on strengthening control and prevention of the disease within the ASEAN region and also providing aid for West Africa in coping with the Ebola outbreak. Kun Lisnari Witit Sarasat has the story.
The ASEAN +3 Health Ministers special meeting on Ebola preparedness and response focuses on strengthening disease control and prevention within the ASEAN region and also to provide aid to West Africa with its Ebola outbreak. General Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha presided on the opening ceremony, saying that Thailand and the ASEAN region need to strengthen its measure against outbreak of diseases that may occur by cooperating together. He said that combating with the Ebola outbreak is a test for all countries to show the determination and capabilities of the ASEAN region. Professor Ratchata Nawin, Minister of Public Health in Thailand, also talked about different measures the ASEAN regions have cooperated together to prevent Ebola, which includes building up systems and laboratories that will help in the early detection of new diseases. Networking and sharing information efficiently within ASEAN is also an important consideration in strengthening ASEAN health ministries' capabilities in the region.
And another areas that need strengthening is the laboratory capacity for rapid diagnosis, because we need to make diagnosis fast whether or not it's a real Ebola infection or not, for proper measures to follow. And since our regions have many countries which have borders next to each other, we need to have a very good information sharing.
Unrelated news, UN Special Envoy on Ebola, Dr. David Nabarro, has urged health workers in ASEAN to be sent to West Africa, which he believes will help spread critical experience and expertise that can be part of preparedness measures for the future. Professor Ratchata said that Thailand is not yet ready to send in healthcare workers, but have assisted with financial aids and equipments.
The Cabinet and the National Council for Peace and Order have agreed to establish 2 additional strategic subcommittees to help the government move things forward. The session, the last one of 2014, focused on summarizing the administration's performance since it took office and future endeavors outlined in the NCPO's roadmap. After the meeting, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha disclosed that both the Cabinet and the NCPO had laid down plans to tackle various issues such as social gaps and poverty, agricultural product prices, social impartiality and the nation's justice system, public property encroachment, economic improvement and upgrading the country's education system, amongst others. General Prayut also indicated that the government would emphasize on fairness, simplify processes, gradually fading out the NCPO's roles, focusing on reorganizing social order and creating understanding among those with different views. In addition, the Prime Minister said that the Cabinet and the NCPO have established 2 additional subcommittees, one to ensure transparency and keep close tabs on the work of independent organizations, and the other to monitor the performance of the NCPO itself. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has instructed the Cabinet and the NCPO to facilitate the reform process and help reconcile differences in the Thai society while prosecuting all violators of the law. According to Colonel Winthai Suwari, spokesperson of the NCPO, Prime Minister Prayut stressed during the joint meeting of the Cabinet and the NCPO the importance of various tasks, particularly those related to national security. One of the issues discussed was the prosecution of all individuals who have violated the law, whether they are currently residing in the nation or overseas. The Premier encouraged related authorities to use appropriate means to notify the accused of their charges and consider opening a chance for those outside the country to return to prove their innocence through the justice system. Meanwhile, the Cabinet and the NCPO were urged to seek cooperation from all related sectors in creating an understanding with dissident groups who might have been misinformed or uninformed regarding the nation's current reform efforts. Regarding all the public sector's procurement and construction projects, General Prayut urged all responsible units to proceed with prudence, adhere to the rule of law, and execute all projects without corruption in order to ensure public confidence in the government's work. And the Cabinet has approved 2 draft laws related to the setting up of the National Digital Economy Committee and the name change of the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, or ICT, to the Ministry of Digital Economy.
Government spokesperson Dr. Yongyut Mayalab reported that the Cabinet has given a nod to the bill on the establishment of the National Digital Economy Committee as proposed by the ICT Ministry. The bill stipulates that the committee is to be chaired by the Prime Minister, while the Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs will serve as the Vice Chairman. The committee members will comprise heads of government offices, public companies and state enterprises whose responsibilities fall in the area of digital economy. 5 subcommittees are to be formed to oversee hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure, service infrastructure, digital economy promotion, and digital society and knowledge. At the Cabinet meeting, approval was also granted to the reorganization of the Ministry's bill, which seeks to rename the ICT Ministry into the Ministry of Digital Economy. The new name is considered more inclusive of the Ministry's duties, which will increase in scope following the name change. The Ministry of Digital Economy will be composed of the Office of the Minister, the Office of the Permanent Secretary, the Meteorological Department, and the National Statistical Office, as well as the Digital Economy Office.
And in regards to the diesel fuel excise tax, the Cabinet has endorsed a raising of diesel fuel excise to 3 baht 75 satang per litre to allow additional income to flow into the state's coffers. Mr. Narongthai Akaraserani, Minister of Energy, explained after the Cabinet meeting that although the diesel excise was being raised, the retail price of diesel fuel, currently at 26 baht 89 satang in Bangkok, would remain unchanged because of the simultaneous reduction of the per litre amount of contribution made towards the oil fund. The increased excise would afford the state an additional 6 billion baht of revenue a month, or roughly 72 billion baht a year. The government is also looking to collect excise from NGV gas sales until the market price reflects the real cost of between 15 and 16 baht per kilogram. To keep the retail diesel price from exceeding 30 baht, the diesel excise was lowered 3 years ago from 5 baht 30 satang per litre to less than 5 satang per litre, after which the rate was readjusted to 75 satang per litre. And the Minister of Finance has ordered the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to keep its eye on the activities of suspected stock market manipulators in light of the steep decline of the SET index on Monday. Finance Minister Sommai Pasi admitted that there were groups of individuals who attempted to manipulate stock prices on Monday, during which the SET index was seen shedding as many as 138 points for the purpose of reacquiring the stocks at cheaper prices. According to the Finance Minister, the current volatility in the stock market is being caused by external factors, and that stock indices worldwide have been declining because of concerns over the oil price decline. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha indicated on Tuesday that Monday's drop of the stock index resulted from groundless rumors, and relevant agencies were determining whether there had been any orchestrated attempt to spread the said rumors for the purpose of manipulating stock prices. General Prayut said that this behavior had been detected in the past, and the public must exercise caution when making investment decisions. Moving on, the joint conference of the government and the National Council for Peace and Order, or NCPO, has concluded with the establishments of two committees while the Prime Minister addressed the prosecution of lèse majesté law violators. The Prime Minister and Chief of NCPO, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, has revealed the results of the joint conference of the government and the NCPO that both sectors have discussed the work strategies of the government and the NCPO to make them more evident and according to the roadmap. He said that two committees have been established in this meeting, namely the Committee for Driving the Corruption Inspection Progress, which includes members from the private sector, and the Committee for Following the Work of the NCPO in support of the government's tasks. The NCPO will execute its power by conducting roadshows to promote public understanding and society adjustments through law enforcement without intervening the governing authorities. The Prime Minister also mentioned that the NCPO is now working to capture the Article 112 lèse majesté law violators. He admitted that the Thai government cannot capture the violators living abroad due to the extradition treaty and the human rights issues. The Thai government will explain to other countries that such action violates Thai law and the violators have been warned before the crime was committed. However, the violators still continue to perform such acts by posting remarks deemed offensive through social media. He said that the government is taking this matter seriously as the actions are considered a major harm that inflicts conflicts to the society. The National Reform Council Committee on Public Health Affairs is urging for the improvement of the country's health service standards. On the second day of the NRC meeting to deliberate suggestions related to the new charter, one of the reform committees that took the floor was the group overseeing reform on public health, chaired by Pornpan Bunyarattanapan. Mrs. Pornpan proposed to the Assembly that the public health reform must aim at the delivery of service quality which meets acceptable standards. She added that with the reform, everyone must have access to health services because it is the rights of all citizens, and having good health condition is also basic human rights of people all over the world. Mrs. Pornpan went on to say that the elimination of inequality in public health service can lead to the stamping out of other types of inequality. King Prachatipok's Institute, or KPI, has organized a seminar entitled Thailand's Reform Through Participatory Dialogue to encourage every Thai citizen to take part in the national reform process. Kun Niranut Raijakwanit has more.
College of Politics and Governance, King Prachatipok's Institute, or KPI, and students of the Advanced Certificate course in Strengthening Peaceful Society together organized a public dialogue entitled Thailand's Reform Through Participatory Dialogue. The seminar was participated by members of the National Reform Council, members of alliance networks in both the government and the private sectors, civil society groups across Thailand, international organizations, and relevant persons who discussed and shared opinions on reforming Thailand. General Ekachai Sivilat, Director of the Institute's Peace and Governance Department and Strengthen Peaceful Society program, presided over their opening and reiterated that the purpose of this seminar was to gather comments, advice, and suggestions from the public and use them as a force to move the country forward.
This is a seminar in the course of a student in King Prachatipok Institute, course of Harmony Community for learning of students. This course learning by case based, by go to have a field trip to the province, every area in the Thailand for study and bring in for the have a session for dialogue with the community. Community have a conflict or community have a harmony. We have an area for the people for study, and today for bring the everything to present and bring the network of community to the state, and for something to renovate or reform Thailand.
According to him, listening to opinions of people is important for the completion of the national reform process. Public opinions are crucial elements to solving moral, ethical, and governance problems in the society. Niranut Traijakwanit reporting.
Thank you very much to Kun Niranut for that story. The National Research Council of Thailand is promoting the works of award-winning Thai researchers and inventors from the international stage and is gearing up to submit 14 more works to a convention in Taiwan in the middle of this month. According to Kun Suthiporn Jit Mitraphap, the Secretary General of the National Research Council of Thailand, the council has long been supporting Thai researchers and inventors by presenting their quality works at international conventions worldwide. In the past, Thai participants have garnered recognition in 4 countries, including Poland, Belgium, China, and South Korea. The convention in Poland, the 8th International Warsaw Invention Show, was held on October 14 till the 16th, during which the Council submitted works from 2 organizations and bagged 10 awards for 4 pieces of the work. The convention in Belgium, entitled the 63rd Brussels Eureka, the Belgian and International Trade Fair for Technological Innovation, was held between November 13 and 15, and Thailand received 10 awards for 5 pieces of work. Meanwhile, the convention in South Korea was held on the 28th of November up until the 1st of December, and that was titled the Seoul International Invention Fair 2014. The Council submitted 34 pieces of work from 11 organizations and garnered 54 awards. The next convention, the Kaohsiung International Exhibition, or KIE 2014, will take place on December 19 till the 21st in Taiwan. Residents in the upper region will experience colder weather as a high-pressure system is extending from southern China. Heavy rains can also be expected in the south. According to the Weather Department, the temperatures in the north and northeast of Thailand will further drop by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. The temperature could go below 15 degrees Celsius and will stay cold for many days. Frost could be spotted on the grass on the mountaintops in some areas. The northeasterly winds over the Gulf of Thailand will gain strength and bring heavy rains to Nakhon Si Thammarat and provinces below. Fishermen should leave the shore with caution as waves 2 to 3 meters high will be generated given the weather conditions. Small boats should also remain ashore. And that's the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Coming up next, we have the international news for you. But first, let's have a look at the exchange rates and also some of the commodity prices.
Maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 9th core value, being conscious and mindful of actions in line with His Majesty the King's royal statements.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Faithful Buddhists are invited to donate to the building of a huge Buddha statue known as Praputta Metta. It's to be constructed at Tepratown Temple, Soi Dao, Jantaburi. With a 20,000 baht donation, the donor's name will be engraved on the foundations of the statue. Those wishing to contribute may make their donations at the Royal Thai Embassy or at the Consulate General in each country, 7-Eleven convenience stores and stores with counter service signs, Rung Thai Bank, Siam Commercial Bank or Bangkok Bank. Please contact the phone numbers shown for more details.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Now to our international news. Philippine government prosecutors in Olongapo City on Monday filed a murder charge against a U.S. serviceman accused of killing a Filipino transgender. U.S. Private First Class Joseph Scott Pemberton is accused of murdering Jeffrey Lord, who also went by the name of Jennifer, in a motel room in Olongapo City, that's about 50 kilometers north of Manila, in October. Pemberton was among visiting U.S. forces taking part in military exercises with the Philippines. He is currently detained at a Philippine camp but remains under U.S. custody. The Philippines said it expects to get custody of Pemberton once he is formally charged in court. Harry Rowe, chief legal advisor to the victim's family, said the case has to follow an existing military agreement between the Philippines and the United States. The Philippines is the oldest and closest security partner of the U.S. in the Asia-Pacific region. At least 132 students and 9 staff members were killed on Tuesday when Taliban gunmen broke into a school in the Pakistani city of Peshawar and opened fire, according to an army spokesperson. This is the bloodiest massacre the country has seen for years.
In the rescue operation yesterday, around 960 children and staff members were rescued from the site where 132 children and 9 staff members were martyred. And around 121 children, which includes 3 staff members, were injured and are being treated in the Lady Reading Hospital and Combined Military Hospital. More than 8 hours after militants slipped into the heavily guarded compound through a back entrance, the army declared the operation to flush them out over and said that all 9 insurgents had been killed. The attack on a military-run high school attended by more than 1,100 people, many of them children of army personnel, struck at the heart of Pakistan's military establishment, an assault certain to enrage the country's powerful army. Wounded children taken to nearby hospitals told Reuters most victims died when gunmen, suicide vests strapped to their bodies, entered the compound and opened fire indiscriminately on boys, girls and the teachers. As night fell on Peshawar, a teeming, volatile city near the Afghan border, security forces wrapped up an operation that lasted more than 8 hours and involved intense gun battles. Pakistanis used to almost daily militant attacks were shocked by the scale of the massacre and the loss of so many young lives. It recalled the 2004 siege of a school in Russia's Beslan by Chechen militants, which ended in the death of more than 330 people, half of them children.
And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write to us. The email address is newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us through other channels. We do have Facebook. You can simply type in NNT to have a look at more news, and also our website, thainews.prd.go.th/newseng. Newsline takes you to a sunflower field in Ratchaburi province as we end the program today, so do enjoy the sunflowers. I'm Chalapansan Rula. See you next time. Sawasdee ka.